Yo, what's going on, peeps? We're back with another vid. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, make sure you share. As I said, I'll be dropping a video today about who should be in, who should be out, and a man of my word, we're about to run that video right now. And I done my video yesterday at the game yesterday, and from what I saw, we were well off the pace. And Conte said it himself that the gap is an important gap and it's a very noticeable gap, and the team needs to be rebuilt, and that's a no-brainer. So the team over the last couple of years has gone down, which is a fact. All since Potter's left, so ain't no surprise really. We already knew it. Any Tottenham fan, and not even any Tottenham fan, any football fan knows that we were well off the pace of where we were. I say 2016, when Leicester won the league, is when we should have won it, and we dropped the ball. And since then, it's just been pretty much downward spiral. We got to the final, the Europa of the Champions League. We should have won it. Some say we were robbed. We just didn't turn up, and Liverpool were not great. But I say all that to say, there's a lot of players in this club that need to leave, and we're gonna go through it today. Obviously, not everyone. Some can stay. Some have been rejuvenated, and maybe, some people I said a few months ago would have been like out and stay. Some to stay, and now some of those is probably flipped. Who knows? But what's clear is that this team needs to be rebuilt, and we definitely need to sort it out quickly as possible. Obviously, January is hard to get any deals done. I get it, but if we can get any business done in January, we need to go and do it. And if not, definitely summertime. That whole thing needs a revamp. When you have your house and you say, you know what, it needs a renovation, we need to redo it. Whether you throw a bit of paint, get a new sofa, some throwovers, something to just jazz it up and make it look brand new. That's what we need to do, because this team is dead. Top four, after the performance I've seen against Watford and Chelsea, it's gonna be tough. Let's just put it like that. Man United are looking trash. The only team that's they're about that looks somewhat decent is, and I hate to say it, it's Arsenal. We just don't look convincing at all. It's just nothing. We have nothing in the middle, nothing going forward at times. Like Son and Kane could have stayed on their team bus. They didn't even need to be on the pitch because they didn't even touch the ball. So they were just there to make up numbers, pretty much. That's what it seemed like, with a bunch of vessels just running around, and that's pretty much it. But let's get into the video, because this is not a rant about our season. We already know what it is. We've done that already, been there, got the t-shirt, all that. So we ain't really here to do all that. We're here to see who needs to stay, who needs to leave, and obviously what positions need filling. That'll be after we run through the squad. I'm not going to do the youth players or players that don't count, that never get in their first squad, whether it's in a little crappy League Cup game or whatever the case may be, or early rounds of FA Cups. You just don't see them. Not counting them. Like your Alfie Whiteman, some of you might know him, some of you might not. The goalkeeper, we're not going to count him. And Dane Scarlett and all the men, we're not be including them in this. This is just first team only. The regulars that we see week in, week out, and usually not doing the greatest. But anyway, let's get into the vid. Make sure you like and subscribe. And as always, we're going to start in goal and work from goalkeeper up to attack, and then we'll get into the other part of the vid. So what we're going to do, go for the players, say who stays, who goes, and obviously give a reason, because you can't just say, oh yeah, go, that's it, or you stay. but don't have nothing to state your reasons. So we're gonna obviously give a little bit of info and argument into why for either the reasons whether they're staying or going. So obviously we start and go with Hugo Lloris. We know, well, let's start off with he needs to stay, obviously, at least to the end of the season. Obviously there's talks of year extension, and apparently he's close to signing, but there's also talks of Dean Henderson from Man United trying to get him in. I would 100% take Dean Henderson. He's a good goalie. Obviously, De Gea has come back into form, so he can't get a sniff, but I will definitely take him at Tottenham. Even if we do get him and Lloris stays another season, I will definitely take him, because that would be a decent replacement going forward, and also a good little deputy also. So I would definitely take Dean Henderson, but for me, Lloris stays. He's been one of the better players last couple of seasons. He has sometimes looked a little flappy coming out for the ball, punching instead of catching like he did yesterday. But a lot of goalkeepers are doing that now, not catching, their punching. So obviously it's a new thing these are doing. I don't know where it's come from. I don't like the trend, but it is what it is. He saved us many a times. So for me, he stays, whether the end of the season or whatever the case may be. But for me, he stays. If he stays beyond the season, cool. But if he leaves at the end of the season, I'll accept. But we will say stay. Galini we're not even doing. That's it for goalkeepers for me. Reitman we're not doing, and Austin, no. Matt Doherty, sell. No brainer. If he plays on the right or he plays on the left, dead. Can't cross, can't pass, can't do anything. For me, just gotta be in the bin. Hang on, there's somebody missing from this team. Oh, no, he's there. So yeah, for me, he's gotta be binned. He doesn't bring anything to the team. He doesn't score. He doesn't get assists. He's not great. Yesterday he just gave away the ball. Like he's needs to be checked. Maybe he's short-sighted. Maybe he can't see things from a distance away, because actually no. Maybe he can't see things close, because the pill was right there and he tried to pass it through, and obviously the man just intercepted it thinking, rah, this is a doozy. Man just gave me the ball. Cheers. Or maybe he's colourblind. I don't know what it is. But for me, not good enough. Didn't want him when he first came. And as he went through and progressed through the months, talking about he needs to adapt, he's not adapted. So, bye-bye, bin. Not good enough. We need more than that. So, bye, bin. Simple as that. Reguilón, for me, stays. When he's on job, he's on job. He goes forward, he's quick, he can be direct. Sometimes he might hold the ball too long, but he can actually cross. He's the only wing back that can cross the ball. A lot of the time he doesn't cross because there's never nobody in the box. Harry Kane's usually too deep, or he's just not in the box. So what's the point of crossing? Who's going to win a header? Only person that could win a header apart from Kane is Lucas. But sometimes he's not in the box, he's outside the box. Or Son is definitely not winning no header. He's not scored many with his head. Let's be real. Maybe 2, 3. Definitely you can count on one hand. So I see why he's not crossing. But he can be a little bit shaky sometimes defensively. But for me, he's definitely the best wing back at the club on either side. So for me, he stays. Sanchez, he's been good this season. We do need replacements. It's a tricky one because he's been solid. And if you asked me probably a few months ago, I'd probably say bin. But this season, he's been pretty solid. And if they're not going to replace, then they need to keep. I would say Sanchez. I'm going to say keep. Last time I said sell, I'm going to say keep. And I'm going to tell you why. He's solid. He's quick. He does have sometimes lapsy-daisy moments, but for the most part, he's pretty decent. And even if he's not a starter, if we do get a decent centre back in, and he's not a starter, he'll be someone that you can throw in and will come in and do a job. Based on what I've seen. Obviously, come end of the season, he might, you might have an absolute shocker from now to the end of the season. If that's the case, then obviously, he's got to go. But for me, if he stays how he is now, he's got to stay. And if I'm honest, I don't see us getting a new centre back. So for me, he's going to have to stay anyway. Unless we get a good money for him. But for me, we're not going to place him in if we got the money. So for me, I say we have to keep Sanchez. Rodon, I've not seen enough of him. For some reason, last couple of managers not really been trusting him. Throwing him in here and there. Under Conte, I don't think he's even... Well, he has featured once against Enes Moura. Didn't cover himself in glory. He didn't look great. But he gets into the Wales team regardless if he plays at Tottenham or not. Now, some may say they don't have no options. That's why he's in the team. But I don't think that's the reason. I think there's a player in there, and there absolutely is a player in there. But for some reason, Conte is just not trusting, and he's putting people like Tanganga in there. And for me, it makes no sense. I would like to keep him. To be honest, I would say keep, but I know that this club is just, the way they're treating him is bang out of order. And simply for that, I would say sell, let him go somewhere else and get some minutes. Because he deserves that. I'm sure he deserves that. Because I see Matt Doherty play and he is shocking. He played in that game against Enes Moura and didn't cover himself in glory either. Yet he's still featuring and Rodon's not. So for me, that is unacceptable. But I would like him to stay, of course, get a little run of games and see how he goes. Because I don't know what he's doing in training that can be that bad that he don't get any minutes. That people like Tanganga's get ahead of him. So I would like to keep him, but at the same time, I just think you're not playing him. So why we got him on the books, get him off. So I would say we just have to sell Tanganga. I would sell. He does alright. He come through the academy, cool. Come through the youth little setup. That's great. Yesterday he showed his where his probably ability is at, and it's not great. He's still making schoolboy errors. He's been in the first team long enough to know certain things you should just not do in a game. Pass the ball out like that. Clear your lines. Header it out for a corner. Do not try and header it back into play, and you didn't even put no height on the ball. You've headed the ball eye level back into play. What do you think is going to happen? Shocking. He's not been great this season. He got sent off against Palace. He's not looked great, for honest. He looked good against Liverpool when he made his debut. And since then, it's been maybe 2 good games, 8 bad games. And that, for me, that ratio is not good enough. And he needs to be gone. Actually, you know what? I'll keep Joe Rodon and I'll sell Tanganga. That's what we're going to flip it. Sell Tanganga, keep Joe Rodon. Because he's not played enough. So I can't really say sell him. I would like to see him get some minutes before we say sell him. So I'm going to say keep for now. Tanganga, I've seen enough. And for me, he's not the answer. Even though he plays right back and centre back, for me, he doesn't really do much in either position. So for me, he's got to go in the bin. Sorry. Ben Davies, he's been solid this season. He's getting on. And he can stand in that left back as well. Or centre back. It's a tricky one with Ben Davies. Because he's been solid. Before I said he should get out. But our defence under Conte has, and even at times under Nuno, have looked pretty good. But I think his time might be up, Ben Davies. I think we have to just cut ties. Even though he's looked good, don't get me wrong, but he's on the wrong side of 30, and I think because of that, he might have to say goodbye. Thanks for the memories, but it's time to go. So even though he's looked great this season, I say Ben Davies. Might have to let you go, mate. Eric Dyer, again, he's not solid. last season, I was like, get rid, not good enough. And at times this season he's looked a bit flaky, but again, is a bit more consistent. He would play maybe not even a bad game. He'd probably just have like a bad moment rather than a bad game. And if it does, it's not often. Out of 10 games, he might make a little error or so in 1, 2 max, but then the other games will be solid. So can't complain. I'll say, based on what I've seen this season, because it's all we can go off, I would say keep. Romero, obviously he's hardly played, he's been injured as well, but when he's played, he just looks solid. He carries one of those ball carrying defenders who step out into the midfield and pass forward and try and split the line. So we're gonna keep him. And big up to him as well because he had a baby. So big up to Romero every time and his missus, and obviously big up the baby as well. And then we go with Emerson Royal, sell. I don't care if we just got him. He needs to be sold. I don't know what they saw in him to say, yeah, let's go and get him. Now, Tomiyasu went to Arsenal, and we was linked with him as well. Now, whether he changed his mind or we changed ours, whatever the case may be, you can see they're two different type of players. Tomiyasu does well defensively and going forward. Royal does nothing either direction, whether he's defending or whether he's going forward. He doesn't do anywhere near enough. He's not good enough. He can't cross, he can't pass, he can't shoot, he cannot do anything. So he's just at the club stealing money at this point because he's getting paid to do a job that he cannot do. This is like those people that lie on their CV saying, oh yeah, I can do this, I've got this, I've done this job, I've done that, but really they ain't done any work in their life. And when they get into the real world, they don't know what they're doing. That is him. Saying, oh yeah, I'm an IT specialist. And then when you get on the computer, you don't have a clue what you're doing. You can't even find Internet Explorer. You don't know how to copy and paste. You don't know the shortcut. You don't know anything. That's pretty much what he is. He's lied on his CV and now he's absolutely robbing us blind. For me, he's got to go. He's a Brazilian, but he doesn't play like a Brazilian. Now, I'm not saying that he should have flair, even though a lot of Brazilians have flair, but there's nothing. Because you look at Fred, he doesn't play with flair, he doesn't do all skills and step overs, but he does a job. Same with Casemiro. They do their job just safely and they do it properly. That's what you get in Brazilian. Either you get flair or you get a man that just does his job and does it to their T. This guy is a wing back. He doesn't do it. Now, some people are saying that he doesn't play on the right hand side. He played on that side, I'm sure he did when he was he at Valencia or Villarreal or somewhere? One of those Spanish clubs anyway, he was there before he went back to Barcelona and then we got him. And that is why Barcelona was so quick to sell him, because they knew, wow, someone actually wants to buy him. Please, yeah, take him. He's yours. We put him on a flight, first class, everything, get him there super quick. Just so you can get off our hands. Probably send that paperwork expeditiously as well. Not good enough for me, and we've been robbed. And for me, he's got to get out of the door. We need to get someone else in and just leave. I don't know what to even do with him. Send him on loan because he's not good enough for this club. I see him cross and it always hits the first man, and if it don't hit the first man, it goes way too deep. That hits the man in the crowd. Not good enough for me. He's got to get in the bin. Simple as that. Pierre Højbjerg, we got to keep. He's our best defensive midfielder. It's just a no-brainer. He's looked a bit off of late, but that's probably the festive period. He's played so many games, whatever. We put it down to that. But for me, he stays. Just as simple as that. What's understood don't need to be explained. Not a lot to say on that. He's our best defensive midfielder, point blank, period. That's it. Harry Winks, a few months ago, I'd say sell. Under Conte, he's learned to pass forward, and he did make a mistake the other day. I can't remember who it was against, and almost gave away a goal. Could have been Watford, I don't remember who it was, or Southampton, he made a mistake. But other than that, Winks has come in the squad and he's looked like a player. So if this is what we've been wanting from him, Obviously, he doesn't score. He should be scoring, cool. But in both boxes, and he's doing a little bit better. Going forward, he's trying to break lines and do what he's got to do, and move the ball forward and move it quicker. And defensively, he's doing his thing, getting yellow cards, doing the fouls that we need to do just to stop the team from getting a goal. So Harry Winks, I will say we should keep, and that's that. The Celso for me, he's got to go. Not good enough. It's been here long enough. All he is injured, doesn't score enough, doesn't create enough, doesn't do anything. So for me, you're not doing your job. We let Eriksen go to Inter, cool. We brought him in, so as far as I'm concerned, if Eriksen goes out and you're bringing this guy in and they play similar position, that's the so-called replacement. He is not a replacement for Eriksen at all. He's not created anything nowhere near as much as Eriksen. Not scored nowhere near the same amount of goals, nowhere near the same amount of assists. He's done literally nothing. I think Eriksen could probably beat his all-time record in probably half a season or a season. He would match his whole time he's been at this club. And we could just do half a season of Eriksen's. Apart from his last season and probably the season before. So, not good enough for me. We don't want, he's just like a Dan Anderton or Lamela. We don't need another one. So, for me, he needs to go. I just don't think the Premier League's for him. I think that's what it is. He's not strong enough and he's not quick enough and he doesn't do nowhere near enough. So for me, he's got to get in the bin. Dele, bin. I know he looked good at times, but for me, his time's up. He needs to leave as well. Like, we can't just keep having passengers, and that's what it seems he is at times. He will come in, sometimes he look good, but a lot of the time he's not really putting in the hard yards. So for me, he's got to go and find football elsewhere and stop stealing the living. He seems like he's just going through vibes here. And that's not what it's about. We want to win. The fans want to win, and don't seem that the players have that same kind of attitude. And he's been here long enough, and for me, he's not really delivered apart from those 2 seasons. I say at the start when he first came. Other than that, he's just been dipping ever since. And it seems like he's more interested in modelling and IG than he's in football. So for me, listen for offers and put him in the transfer list. Get him in the bin. Tanguy and Ndombele. For me, Ndombele's got to leave as well. Sorry, not good enough. He's slow, holds the ball too long sometimes, and it seems like he's here for vibes, and he's on over 200k a week, I believe. So yeah, you're not putting enough shift. You don't look like you even interested. A lot of the time his face is like yeah, okay, yeah, I'm here, cool, just here chilling, getting my bread. It's like I'm only coming in because I have to. That's what I come like. You know, when you go to work, you don't want to go work, but you know you have to go work because you need money so you can eat. So you just go and that's it. You don't enjoy it, but you go because you have to, because you need the bread. That's what Ndombele is like. He's been there long enough. He's not adapted. He's still slow. Doesn't score enough. Doesn't create enough. And for me, you can't have 2 good games, 8 bad games. That is not the ratio that I want to see. You need to have it the other way around. 8 good games, I could take 2. That's like 80%. That's fine. 80% of the time you're having a good game. 20% a bit off, but we'll accept. Anything less, I'm not rolling. So for me, Ndombele's got to go. Sessegnon got to go. He's been here long enough as well. He was hit underneath Poch. Apart from that goal he scored against Bayern Munich, he ain't really done anything. So for me, his time's up. We shouldn't have brought him in the first place. I knew he wasn't the answer because he looked somewhat decent at Fulham. It doesn't mean he's gonna look good in Tottenham. It's a totally different way of playing, different level of club. We got different goals. They want to stay in the Premier League. We want to try and win it, where you'd think, or at least be challenging for top 4 at least to get in the Champions League. They're not on that. So yeah, for me, bin Oliver Skip, we're gonna keep. He's come in the team and he's looked decent, even under Nuno, even the better players in that Nuno tenor. So yeah, for me, Oliver Skip, he stays. He didn't look great yesterday against Chelsea, fair, but he's there's definitely a player in there, and you can see it. Anyone can see it. We're moving to Son. Obviously, signed a new deal. We want to keep him. If he left, wouldn't have been upset either because he don't deserve a lot of this crap that's going on in this club. He's getting close to 30. He needs to, he could have went somewhere else, got his last big deal because this would have been his last one. He could have went to, I don't know, PSG, whatever the case, to win some silverware. He chose to stay at Tottenham because he loves the fans and what have you, so big him up. And we always love and respect him for that. Even when he's having a shocker like he has been in the last few games, he's been looking poor, but he ain't going to turn on Son because he's always happy and smiling. And for the most part, he usually bailing us out. So, Son, he stays. Harry Kane, this is a tricky one because you want him to stay, but at the same time, it's like everything has to go through Harry Kane. Everyone talks about Kane this. He wants to build a team around Kane. He don't want to be here. So it's like it's a sticky one because you want him to stay because you know he's an absolute baller, even though he's not looking like it. But he don't want to be here. And for me, I'm not about kidnapping and holding nobody ransom. So if a man don't want to be there, then man has to cut. You like your job, you don't want to work there no more. What do? Look for a new job and you dip. Simple as that. He wants to win trophies, and the way we playing, we ain't gonna be winning no trophy anytime soon. So this is a sticky one. I would say, obviously, wanted to stay, but if he left in the summer, again, wouldn't be mad. Everyone was mad at him for wanting to leave. I wasn't really mad. It's just the fact that he came out and said it the way he did. Should have kept it really indoors, kept it inside, but never mad at him wanting to leave and wanting to win stuff. Who plays football to just vibes? You want to go and win trophies. That's what football's about. It's about winning leagues, winning cups. And here, with some of the men we have, don't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. So for me, I would say stay, but if he left in the summer, also, I would not be mad. Steve Bergwijn, for me, has got to leave. Now, fans are fickle, and this is what I don't like about fans. Let me tell you this. You see me? I'm pretty fair. If I say out, then I'll usually want you out. I'm not gonna, if you have one good game, score a goal, I'm not gonna say you need to stay. You see with Sanchez, perfect example. Sanchez was shocking, right? But this season, he's been solid. And I'm not just going on 1 game, 2 game. For this season, he's been solid. We played, 19 games, or whatever the case is, right? He's been solid. I would say keep Harry Winks this season. He's been solid. Obviously, I say keep him. But if you want to listen to offers, that's cool as well. But I would say keep. Because now it's showing what we've been trying to see for the longest. And he's been showing it consistently. You got to have some consistency. For me. Obviously, some fans will just stay, you know what, no, regardless of if you're paying good or not, you got to go. You're not the answer. But if I'm saying stay, a lot of it's just for, even if you're like, it's like being deputy. Obviously, you need better. But if you stay, it's cool. You can come in, stand in. If someone's injured, then we know you can do a job. That's the kind of vibe I'm on. But for me, Bergwijn does not tick any of those boxes. Took Eriksen's number, and he's nothing even close. He scored a banger against City, a goal against United. He scored. Who did he score against the other day? Was it Norwich? I was watching it. I don't even know who it was he scored against. I can't remember. He scored the other day. Cool. But for me, not nowhere near enough. He doesn't assist. He doesn't do anything. Holds onto the ball too long. Don't have the passing ability. Don't have any type of ability. So for me, maybe the Premier League is just too quick and too physical for him. And again, he's one of those ones that I see him doing more on IG than I do see him doing on the pitch. And I'm not here for this ain't Britain's next top model. I'm not here for that. So if you want to be a model, cool. Go do that somewhere else. Not at my club. We need ballers, people that want to play football. not want to be dressing up and talking about drip and getting chains and all them things there. I don't care about all that. So for me, Bergwijn has got to get in the bin. Lucas Moura, he would be good to keep just for, we need a replacement obviously, or he just needs competition that side. But we got to keep because he plays in midfield, and usually he's the only one that's gonna try. He's gonna go tackle, win the ball, go forward with it, and hope people's there. But a lot of the time, sometimes he's by himself. The team just sometimes ain't as committed and can't get up the pitch when he's up there, and then the moment's gone. But for me, I was that Lucas. So for me, Lucas stays at least one more season, and then if he goes next season, cool. But at least for next season, we need him. And obviously we got Brian, Mr. Gil. He just come, he hardly plays. Is what it is. It's his first. He's trying to learn the ropes. It's his first season. He hardly plays. When he comes on, sometimes you can see his naivety, but he's played a lot of senior football. So I think there's a player in there. He just needs to adapt to the Premier League. So I'm not gonna judge him harshly. So I'm gonna say keep, because it's his first season, and it'd be harsh to say get him out after, you know, a few months in the Premier League. It's definitely a hard league to adapt to. It's not easy, and we've seen even with certain players go to different teams like Torres and Shevchenko. We've seen them, and they brilliant players, but in the Premier League, it didn't work for them, and sometimes that's just how it goes. But we shall see. That's pretty much the whole team. I've gone through it. Just a quick one for you. Hugo Lloris, keep. Doherty, bin. Reguilon, keep. Sanchez, keep. Rodon, keep. Tanganga, bin. Davis, bin. Dyer, Romero, keep. Royal, bin. Højbjerg, Winks, we keep in. The Celso's in the bin. Ali and Ndombele, Sessegnon out. Skip, we keep in. And we got Son, Kane, we keep. Bergwijn out. Lucas in. And Hill in as well. That's the squad. That's who we want in, that's who we want out. And for me, places that need filling, definitely right back, 100%, because what we have there is nowhere near good enough. We definitely need something there. Right back as well, just someone, a little deputy in case something happens to Reguilon, because if it does, we're screwed. We need a proper CM. We need a replacement for Eriksen. The Celso's not the answer. We need someone that's going to create. And between the Celso and Ndombele, who we brought in for such reasons, they're not doing it. So both of them need to get in the bin, and we need to get someone in there that's going to come in and do what they're going to do. We need to find our KDB, and that's Kevin De Bruyne. That's what we need. That can make goals and score goals. We need a midfielder like that. A Bruno Fernandes. We need a player like that. We need to find someone like that. That's what we need. And we don't have it. And our midfield do not score nowhere near enough goals. And that's for such reasons as that. So that needs to be addressed. We need a new striker. Whether Kane stays or not, we need a new striker. We need someone on the left, and we need someone on the right of the attack. I would say we definitely need a new goalkeeper. And centre backs, definitely centre backs as well. Obviously, I said to keep Sanchez and Dyer and all the man, because let's be honest, where they're gonna go? We're not gonna buy any replacements. We just got Romero. They're not gonna go and fork out money for anybody else. And I'm sure Romero's on loan with an option to buy, not 100%, but I'm sure that's what the case was. But for me, if you're not gonna buy centre backs, there's no point getting rid, because you're gonna get rid and to do what? You're not bringing nobody in. So you keep those men in, because at the moment they're doing a good job, and it is what it is. And for me, that's the video done. I've done nearly 35 minutes. It's gone kind of quick, if I'm honest. But that's it with the squad. It does definitely a lot of revamping, because that squad that we witnessed. And if you watched the game yesterday, you can see it's definitely well off the pace. They're not nowhere near the top. Not near City, Liverpool, Chelsea, not even close. And I'm sure that's where they want to be. That's where we want to be as fans. Obviously, some of these players seem to have different aspirations and goals. They don't seem to want to win. They just want to be there and just they'd be happy for top four. I don't really hear no win league talk. It's more top four talk. I guess that's what you gotta. They probably know the level. Like, okay, top four. Let's start there and work up. I want to win the league at some point. Definitely want to win some type of trophy, and it don't look like it's happening with this League Cup, which is the perfect chance. But hey, we'll see next week when we go again next Wednesday. They might put on the actual shift and surprise us. So we shall see near the time. But that's the video wrapped up. I did tell you I was gonna drop. You probably didn't believe me, but it's 2022, COVID free. It is real. Man had that, so obviously man was out for a bit, but we back. So videos here again, and we're gonna find some content. Obviously, I'm gonna start seeing any proper transfer news. I heard about we wanted to get Kessie. Ain't nothing to it, and if he does come, it's gonna be on big wages. So definitely players will like Ndombele on high wages, Lo Celso, them dead players definitely to leave. But anyway, that's the vid. Make sure you don't look after yourselves. It's cold as well, so make sure you wrap up. Wear your masks. As I said, COVID is definitely real, and there's a new variant, Flurona, going around. Don't know what that's saying, but it's sounding mad. So you gotta make sure you look after yourselves and big yourselves out every time. If you made it to the end of the video, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you share, because I will be reading comments and I will be responding. Let's get this up. It's 2022, new year. We're trying to get more followers. We on 7. Ain't mad. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Some people say, oh, 7 after how long, and just want to give up. But I'm gonna come on here and spit my feelings regardless. You gotta make sure you get up in there, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, comment, and share. And until the next vid, I'm getting out of here. Peace.